What's going on, guys, and welcome to the video that I'm sure you've all been waiting for. Yes, in today's video I'm going to be letting you guys vote for our next FIFA 18 career mode, as you can pick the team and decide where we start our next adventure. There are 5 teams to choose, and in this video I'll be giving you a brief summary of each team, showing you things like their kits, teams, transfer budgets and stadium. So make sure you stay tuned so you can choose the team that you think would be best to start a new career mode with. Voting is simple as per normal. Just tap or click in the top right of the screen and cast your vote when you are ready. So without further ado, let's meet the 5 teams that you can vote for our next FIFA 18 career mode. So the first team is Aston Villa of the Championship, relegated from the Premier League 2 years ago and still in the second tier of English football. They have a real stadium in the game in Villa Park, a really nice stadium, a famous old ground, and obviously the Holt End is one of those famous stands in English football. A decent sized club. They've got a very good supporter base as well, a strong rivalry with Birmingham City, and of course starting in the Championship as well, having to work our way back into the Premier League would make this quite a fun English career mode to do, as we try and restore them to former glory as they once were a big European side. Their budget is just under £17 million and their team is not that great, so a decent starting budget for the Championship, but the team is a little bit of a letdown, so this will be quite a challenge for us to make this team a really strong one once again as we try and work our way up from the second tier. In the first season though, the aim domestically is to win the league title, so the pressure on straight away of Aston Villa. No excuses, no room for error. Got to get straight back to the Premier League with the title as well. So Aston Villa, the first team you guys can vote for. I think they'd be a really good RTG career mode side, trying to restore them to former European glory. Now, the second team is comfortably the worst side of the 5 teams. This really would be an RTG career mode. Real Zaragoza of the Segunda Division in Spain. Just like Aston Villa, will be starting off in the second tier of football in their country. And they have no real stadium in the game, sadly, but the kits are quite nice, I must say. But their budget is very small. It is the smallest by far out of these 5 teams. And I tried to give as much variety in this poll. Every team having something different, and Real Zaragoza, they're the challenging team, they're the RTG team, a 3-star team with just 2.2 million in the transfer budget, starting in the Segunda Division with a really poor side. Not much talent, not much first team quality, and not much good quality in depth either. This would be without question the toughest team of the 5, but probably the funnest RTG project we could start with these 5 teams. Domestically, they're supposed to fight for promotion in the first season, and with not a great team, it would be quite a difficult challenge for us to try and make this team a really good one in the space of 4 to 5 years. The project would probably take a little bit longer than that before we can make this side a really strong one. With a really small budget and a really poor team, this is comfortably the most challenging team of the 5, but certainly a fun one for an RTG career mode. Next team up, and we're going from one end of the spectrum to the other side. We're now looking at the biggest and best team of the 5, and this is Olympique Marseille of the French Ligue 1. Of course, they have the Stade Velodrome, or of course it will be called the Orange Velodrome in FIFA 18. You might notice where these stadiums, came from. I got these screens from FIFA 16, but yeah, the Velodrome now a capacity of 67,000, I do believe, in 2017. But Marseille, the best team out of the 5. Without doubt, a really strong team, but surprisingly have a small transfer budget, only £12.5 million, and trying to compete with the Richards of Paris Saint-Germain and Monaco in Ligue 1. This could be quite a fun career mode to do. Not a big transfer budget, a decent team, a 4-star side with some really good players, but not a lot of money to work with, so we might have to grow our own talent and our own world beaters from the youth academy as the years go on. In the first season, they're just supposed to finish in a Champions League place, so more than doable, but I wanted a big team out of these 5 for you guys to vote for as well, just to add as much variety as possible. So a 4-star team, a very good team. We'll be in the Europa League in the first season, but again, with a £12.5 million budget, not a lot of money to work with in our first season. But Marseille, the 3rd of 5 teams you can vote for. Fourth team, and it's now a German side, the only German side of the poll. From the Bundesliga, it's Eintracht Frankfurt, who you guys can vote for next if you would wish to do so. They've got 3 really nice kits in the game, particularly the away kit. I really do like it. Very clean, very fresh. But the stadium, sadly, is not a real stadium. 3 of the 5 teams have real stadiums, but 2 don't. This is one of the 2 that don't. They've got the EA generic, the Wald Stadium, but it still looks pretty decent in the game. But sadly, no real stadium for Eintracht Frankfurt. But the team is not that great. It's a 3.5-star team, oh sorry, a 4-star team with a £14 million budget, and they've got some okay players, some decent players in the team. There are a couple of young talents in the Frankfurt side as well that will be really good to look out for in the future, but for the most part, this team would require quite a lot of work, and with Bayern Munich having such a strong hold on the Bundesliga right now, Borussia Dortmund, another side who are in the Bundesliga that would have to try and topple as well, it would be quite tough to try and make this side the strongest side in Germany, let alone Europe, as the years go by. But Eintracht Frankfurt will be a really decent team to start off with. Again, probably one of those sort of like hipster career modes, really. Not a mainstream team, but a fun one to try and build for the future. £14 million in the budget, a decent team, but does require a lot of work, and certainly would be a fun team to use, no doubt about it. I don't think many people start with Eintracht Frankfurt, so we'd be one of the few people to do so. And the 5th and final team you guys can vote for sees us head back to England, and a Premier League side for our 5th and final team. It's Stoke City at the Bet365 Stadium. In the game, it won't be called the Britannia Stadium or the Bet365 Stadium. It'll be the Stoke City FC Stadium. We'd, of course, call it the Bet365 Stadium. This team is quite an interesting one. I've put Stoke in a couple of polls before, but they've never done too well. But for some reason, I think they might this time. Of course, under the management of Mark Hughes, not having a great season this year in real life in the Premier League. And of course, they were promoted many years ago now. It's been almost a decade worth of top-flight football for Stoke City. This might be the year where they're just about holding themselves away from relegation and hanging on to Premier League football for dear life. So taking over Stoke could be quite a decent challenge in the first season, trying to keep them up with them in poor form in real life. They are a 4-star team, though, with a £42 million budget. They have the biggest budget by far in this career mode vote. So if you want us to start with a team that's quite good, it's got some decent players and has a lot of money as well, then Stoke City will probably be the team for you. Not a great team compared to a lot of the teams in the Premier League, but still a side that's not that bad. Expected to finish in mid-table in the first season. And with some decent players, some decent talent, and a lot of money as well, this Stoke side would certainly be a fun one to start a new career mode team with. So those are the 5 teams you guys can vote for. We've got Aston Villa, Real Zaragoza, Marseille, Frankfurt, or Stoke City. The choice is yours. Vote in the top right and decide what team we start off our next career mode with. So that is that. 5 great teams for you guys to vote for our next career mode in FIFA 18. I tried to give as much variety and choice for you guys as well. I've got 2 English sides, 1 French side, a German side, and a Spanish side as well. A couple of sides starting in the Segunda Division or the Championship in Zaragoza, and of course Aston Villa as well. And then 3 top flight teams as well. You know, quite a big club in Marseille. A club would have to try and grow with Eintracht Frankfurt, Stoke City as well. Just a really good range of variety for you guys to vote for, and I think every single team would make for a really good FIFA 18 career mode adventure. So again, in the top right of the video right now, tap or click on the screen and you guys can cast your vote for where we start our next FIFA 18 career mode with. Each team will have their own sort of unique personality and challenge and set of rules, which we'll discuss when the new career mode begins, but just vote with your heart. What team do you want us to start with in the next FIFA 18 career mode? The choice is yours. Thanks for watching. Have a fantastic day, guys. Much love to you all. The voting will end during the week on Wednesday at 10 PM UK time. So you've got quite a few days for you to cast your vote, and make sure you do vote as well. It really is imperative. So in the top right, click or tap and vote for what team you think we should start our next FIFA 18 career mode with. Bye.